Sussex fights back in tears. Plot behind Harry's latest claim about UK return made Palace angry. Prince Harry has raised eyebrows among royal experts after he suggested that the only thing stopping him from returning to the UK was the issue of police protection. Prince Harry has asked for UK police protection for when he visits Britain and has even offered to cover the cost of the security detail. Charlie Ray, the former royal editor, supported the claims, saying the Duke of Sussex was entitled to the protection. The royal expert pointed out that Harry's private US security would not have access to UK intelligence services, whereas the British police would. He said, "I also doubt his own security from the States would be allowed to the inner sanctum of the royal family. That is a job that is done by the Met Police or Thames Valley Police." I think he has a point. I think Harry is entitled to this. He is not saying you and I should pay for it. He will pay for the protection while he is in this country. However, the royal expert challenged one point made in the statement from Harry's legal representative about the Duke's desire to return to the UK. Mr. Ray told talk radio host Cristo Foufas, "When I read his statement this morning where he said this was the only reason we are not going back. I seem to remember when they were invited to Sandringham at Christmas, Meghan saying they weren't coming back because they didn't want the focus of attention to be on them. It is interesting." He said that Meghan's point about the Christmas invite challenged Harry's claim. Not everyone was as supportive of Harry's police protection request, as Piers Morgan today said it was unfair on Britons to use resources protecting the prince when he is no longer a royal or carries out any duties. In an explosive appearance on the BBC's Sunday Morning After a Year off breakfast TV, the former Good Morning Britain host said it was chillingly inevitable that Harry and Meghan would pop their heads up again. He told Sophie Raworth how the timing of Prince Harry's request for police protection is so appalling following the death of the Queen's husband, Prince Philip, last year and the awful situation with Prince Andrew. Of all the tantrums over tiaras and titles, this latest squabble really is quite unique. The Duke of Sussex's unprecedented move of threatening to sue the government is both breathtaking and utterly baffling. Those in royal circles have almost universally questioned the play at hand, not only in its nature but equally in execution. True enough, with his background in the military and his position in one of the most famous families in the world, and celebrity lifestyle, Prince Harry and his family are arguably high-profile targets. But to suggest he is at a greater risk at home than abroad, where he has chosen to base himself, surely holds very little weight. Indeed, the manner of this row seems even more bizarre that it is still being argued 2 years on from being granted his wish to up and leave his royal role, on the understanding that you can't have everything you want. This is all before even considering the effect on the Queen, who we are told has been made aware of her grandson's latest bright idea just as she emerges from one of her most tumultuous periods of recent years. She faced her first Christmas without her beloved husband before wielding the axe on her son Prince Andrew's royal career. The decision to banish him into the wilderness, arguably a couple of years behind schedule, would not have come easy no matter the depths of his fall from grace. Now, just 3 weeks away from the beginning of her Platinum Jubilee year, Her Majesty is facing down another petulant member of her family for reasons she would be forgiven for assuming had been sorted. At every turn the Queen has handled Harry's behaviour with good grace, wishing him well and extending a loving sentiment that he and his family would always be much-loved members of her own. With the season of goodwill to all now behind us, one may wonder how much is left.